You're tuned in to Ask the Master Auto Technician. Car questions? Get answers right now. Call 850-763-0555.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is James Morris. This is part 2 of our Thursday morning show. I have Brian Armstead calling all the way from Maryland. He's going to be doing a review of the 2017 Honda CRV. What is new and exciting about that CRV, Brian?
Well, first of all, it's good to be back on with you.
Good.
Hope you and Anna Marie had a wonderful Thanksgiving. The 2017 Honda CRV, James, in a word, it's exciting. I mean, if you're a Honda fan, and there are many Honda fans out there, then you should really be very excited about this all-new CRV from Honda. It's larger than the 2016 model. I mean, when you think about the Honda CRV, which is now in its 5th generation, you think back 20 years ago, and the CRV was a tiny little affair with little spindly axles in the rear that you could see as the vehicle was rolling down the road because of a lack of body cladding or shielding in the back. And I would always wonder, how does a vehicle with little tiny axles like that even survive on mean streets of, the urban mean streets of America? But it's no longer a tiny little CRV with spindly axles. It's now a large and in-charge, it's called a compact SUV, but I don't understand how it's compact because this is a large, premium,
supersized
utility vehicle.
A supersized compact.
It's surprisingly large. I hadn't been in a CRV. I hadn't driven one in a while, and I was pleased with the way it looks. It's a beautiful vehicle. It's got really bold styling. Inside, it's a big guy like me has got a lot of room inside. All of the features are first rate. It's a premium quality interior. And for the first time in a Honda CRV, you can get a turbocharged engine, depending on the trim level that you choose. This is a small turbocharged engine, James. It's a 1.5-liter turbo, which is a remarkable, if you could see the picture of how well Honda has packaged this turbocharged engine, you'd really be amazed.
Is that the same engine that's in the Civic? Is it the same engine that's in the Civic? The 1.5-liter you talked about a couple of weeks ago in the 2017 Civic?
I can't recall if it's exactly the same engine, James. That was 2 weeks ago.
I just know it was a 1.5 turbocharged direct injection engine that put out 100.
Well, then it would be the same engine. Yes,
170 horsepower. I mean, it would get and go.
Well, in the CRV, the 1.5 turbo makes 190 horsepower.
Okay.
And it returns 30 plus miles per gallon on the highway. So it's, you can also opt for, and depending on the trim level, if you get the base LX model, then you can get the 2.4-liter 4, which has 184 horsepower and returns about 28 miles per gallon on the highway. So you definitely want to go with the turbo.
Nice.
Both engines are channeled through a CVT transmission. I'm not a big fan of CVTs, but this one, James, does the job well. They built in shift points into the vehicle.
Good.
So it feels like you're actually driving a regular 5 or 6 or 7-speed transmission. I mean, there's no wind-up and excessive noise with the with the CVT.
And that's why most people don't like it. Is that the reason most people don't like CVT, including yourself? You don't have the shift points in it, where this one does have the shift points?
And they just make a lot of noise. I mean, when Nissan first expanded their whole lineup with CVTs, I mean, these things would seem like they were just winding up like a rubber band, just waiting to pop, just like wind me up. And, the Nissan, everybody has really improved the CVTs. I still prefer a traditional, transmission with speeds that shift.
Right.
But I understand why manufacturers use the CVT, for packaging reasons and also for fuel economy reasons. I mean, these things are efficient.
Yes, they are. And infinite number of gears,
Infinite number of gears. I mean, that's pretty good there. Now, the 2017 CRV comes with a whole lot of standard safety and driver-assisted technologies. If you go full tilt with the touring model, You pretty much get everything. It's about $33,000 for the touring,
Okay.
and you can pretty much load it up as you see fit. Some of the standard and optional things on trim levels include road departure mitigation, adaptive cruise control, low speed follow, which is really cool because you can set your adaptive cruise control, and if you're following somebody, you just set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you're stuck in rush hour traffic. You set the low speed follow, and your job is done. To pretty much follow. You don't have to constantly get on the gas, off on the brakes. It follows the vehicle in front of you and will brake the car fully if need be.
Wow.
It also has a rear cross traffic monitor, which is great when you're trying to pull out of when you're trying to back out of parking spots.
What is that? What is cross track?
Sorry.
What is that you're talking about? This cross track.
The rear cross traffic monitor is a series of cameras that look at the sides of your vehicle.
Oh.
So if you're backing out of a parking space, you can actually, how you're at the shopping mall and you're trying to back out, and you pull out real slow because you can't figure out whether somebody's going to come tearing into the mall trying to get that premium spot and tear the side of your vehicle off.
Right.
So with the rear cross-traffic monitor, you can actually see what's coming in both directions.
That sounds nice.
It's really a great feature. It's not a Honda exclusive, but it's a really nice feature, and it's good to see that a lot of manufacturers now have the system intact. It's a great safety feature.
Okay, so they've got this follow cruise control, and they got this cross track with the cameras you're talking about, backing feature on this. So what is another thing that really stuck in your mind? Does it come in all-wheel drive as well as just two-wheel drive, or is it just...
Yes.
Okay.
Good question. It comes with front-wheel drive is standard.
Right.
And then if you want to spend another $1,800 or so, you can get an all-wheel drive platform. I drove the all-wheel drive, and it drives really great. It's got, it's more of a rear torque biased all-wheel drive system, but it can split the torque front and rear just depending on how you need to get on down the road. If it senses that you need more to the rear or more to the front, then it can adjust it as such.
Wow, it sounds like it's pretty smart. Pretty smart then. It sounds like it's pretty smart. And up where you live, where there's more snow and ice, the all-wheel drive would be more advantageous versus down here where we don't have much snow and ice.
Well, see, that's where we always constantly get into a battle here, James, because there is a penalty for the weight of all-wheel drive. It costs you about a mile per gallon with the Honda CRV. But it does rain in Panama City, correct?
Boy, it does. Well, I don't know.
Well, yesterday it rained for the first time in, 2 months since
Over
Labor
2
Day.
months. It was first rain we've had in 2 months was yesterday.
Yeah, my husband forgets how slick the roads can be.
God does shed some water on you folks down there every once in a while.
Ever so often.
The point I'm trying to make is that, on a slick road, and, with rain, the roads are slick.
Yes,
all-wheel drive does have significant handling advantages over safety advantages. Let me put it that way.
All right.
Over, a normal front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive vehicle. It just does. You've got all four wheels providing grip, providing acceleration, and providing, their input or lack of input depending on the computers. And that makes a difference no matter what the weather. So I encourage people, if you want all-weather safety, confidence, and control, then you should opt for the all-wheel drive system. And it's just a lot of fun when you're back on a country road and you want to kind of swing that thing into action. And again, I don't encourage speeding or aggressive driving in any way, but if you decide to step up the MPH and go on a back road for a little bit, then the Honda CRV is like a Honda Civic in ways that it handles them. It's got front and rear stabilizer bars. It's got electric power steering. It's just a real crisp road feel.
I like that. I like the idea of the turbocharger. Is this the first year they put turbochargers on the CRV that you know of?
It is the first year for turbochargers on the CRV. This is the fifth generation CRV, and yes, first
and you
year
say
for
it's,
turbochargers.
and it's around 30 miles to a gallon, which is pretty impressive. I was reading today how the CAFE standards were supposed to be 54-point-something miles per gallon by 2025. I think they've dropped them down to around 50 miles per gallon right now, but this one's right at 30 miles per gallon. in that area. So they've got a few years to get that mileage up to around 50 miles per gallon. But at this rate, they may make it. They might. I
Well,
don't know.
they've got the Fit, they've got the Civic, they've got the hybrid cars.
Mhm.
So, Honda is not a company that you would have to worry about. So,
They're
I
going
don't
to
know
make it.
how I don't know how the exotics will fare if they have some kind of special waiver. But when you have cars, big V8s and V10s and 12-cylinder cars sucking down your corporate average fuel economy, that's a whole other story.
That is a whole other story. But it's amazing how Honda has really come along. We were talking about last couple of weeks ago how they really, since the 1970s, they were in just little cracker boxes coming over here to the United States, how they've turned into beautiful, sleek driving machines that handle like sports cars and look just as pretty as they handle. The Honda's
Now, speaking of the United States, we all know that the Hondas are Japanese cars, but the CRV will be produced at 3 plants in North America, in East Liberty, Ohio, in Alliston, Ontario, and in Greensburg, Indiana. So that brings a lot of jobs to North America, and that's a good thing.
It is. I did not know that. I guess America is the biggest user of the CRV, I guess.
Well, I would think so, because we're an SUV-crazed society. I mean, I lament the loss of station wagons in this country or the lack of their popularity, but everybody wants a crossover or an SUV. I mean, guys want them because they got space for junk, and they're big, and women want them for the same reason. I love when women call things like the Lexus RX and the Honda CRV their trucks. I mean, these things are as far from trucks as they can be. But I got my Lexus truck outside. I'm like, where is it? I don't see any trucks out there. But everybody thinks they have a big old honking truck just because they have a sport utility vehicle. So it's kind of a cool thing.
It is. Well, we got about
ultimately-
we got 1 minute left, Brian. And if people were interested in purchasing or looking at this Honda CRV, tell us more how they can find out more about it. We got about, like I said, 1 minute left.
Well, it's actually not up on the website just yet. The 2016 model is on the Honda.com website, but the 2017 model is not. It's not just out on the website, so it'll be up there soon. A couple of really key features for the CRV include remote start, dual zone climate control, heated side mirrors, electric parking brake, rear USB ports. It's fully loaded, about 33,000 full tilt, 24,000 base model, 2017 Honda CRV. I loved driving it. Way to go, Honda. Just a terrific automobile, and something you should certainly consider if you're thinking about a crossover utility vehicle. Just really well done, Honda. Congratulations.
Well, I'm impressed with it. Sounds like a vehicle that I'm looking forward to seeing coming in here just a test drive. All right, Brian, thank you so much. We'll be talking to you next week. Bye-bye, everybody. Y'all have a great Thursday. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guarantee.